Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of Tag Team. I'm your host, the Invincible E, Vincent. Caesar Scorpio is going to be covering the action that takes place on Thursday with TNA Impact. Right now we're talking about WWE Raw, which took place tonight, coming out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. The show started out with CM Punk coming out to the ovation, the fans in the crowd, going over the fact that he was glad that he was able to finally achieve one of his childhood dreams, which was to become the WWE champion. The crowd is still going wild, chanting over and over, "Best in the world" and CM Punk. They were still talking about how he wanted to be an agent of change, and that he still wanted to get those ice cream bars that he was talking about so long ago. As he's talking, he's interrupted by the interim GM, John Laurinaitis, who comes out and basically says that he doesn't think that there's no good reason that they should have an adversarial relationship, and he wanted to make nice with the new WWE champion. Punk tells Johnny Ace that he's like Bill Lumbergh from Office Space with none of the comedy included, and Laurinaitis tried to make a joke about not being middle management but being upper management. Nobody cared, and he moved on to tell CM Punk that he was going to have a match tonight with Dolph Ziggler, and there was going to be another match with Alberto Del Rio next week. Following that, there was a clip showing one of Zack Ryder's fans, The Rock, last night after the Survivor Series matches were over. The Rock went to address the crowd again and pointed out, as the crowd was chanting, "We want Ryder," New York stand up, the Rock had to go ahead and acknowledge, hey, he was a big fan of Zack Ryder as well. Moving on to the first match, this was Zack Ryder versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, Alberto Del Rio was still smarting off of the loss at Survivor Series, and he basically took it out on Zack Ryder. He attempted immediately to go for the left arm and isolated. Ryder fought back somewhat, but Alberto Del Rio was basically able to get him in that armbar eventually, and Zack Ryder had to go ahead and tap out. Moving on to the next match, which was Sheamus versus Jack Swagger. Now this match went on pretty good. Sheamus wins this match after jumping off the top rope with an attempted battering ram. He missed the battering ram, and Swagger was able to get him into an ankle lock. There was an attempted brogue kick where Sheamus missed, and Jack Swagger was able to take advantage. Sheamus was actually able to kick out of the ankle lock and go ahead and finally get that brogue kick and get the pin and the win. And this was some pretty good action. Jack Swagger, again, able to showcase a little bit more of what he can do. Sheamus is a good canvas for that, because Sheamus is basically going to throw the house at you. Kevin Nash came out at this point and went ahead and talked a little bit about how he was at Madison Square Garden last night watching from the back. He had a lot of good memories about Madison Square Garden. This was where the Clique was able to make an impact early on, and that he was hoping that once he got reinstated, that he would be able to work with one of his friends from the Clique, Triple H. But instead of coming back to a friend, he came back to a boss, and he was not happy about that. And Kevin Nash went on to say that in the end, between the two of them, he was the one that was surviving, because Triple H was going to be laid up for the next 6 months with a neck broken. And then he went ahead and left, and the show moved on. Now, after the break, Cody Rhodes came into the ring prior to his match against Santino Marella, and he was going on about the breakage of his mask by Randy Orton. And he said that rather than being held back by the mask, now that the mask is gone, he's freed, he's been emancipated. He's like a rabid dog without a muzzle now. And he basically took that out on Santino Marella as the match started. Santino was not even able to get off most of his moves. He got one attempted Cobra Strike in, and Cody Rhodes basically did him in, crossroads, and it was pretty much over pretty quick. Now, Michael Cole sort of baited Booker T into talking about how Cody Rhodes had been using the mask up to that point as a weapon, and he said, "Well, Booker, you had been, one to use, dirty tricks here and there." And Booker was like, "Yeah, but I never used the mask," which is technically true, but come on, tomato, tomato. What are you gonna do? Cody Rhodes came over to the announce desk and said, "I can hear you, right?" And went in that he had it with Booker talking about him, and went ahead and threw some water in Booker's face. And Booker started to take his jacket off, and I thought it was going down right then, but Booker toweled himself off and sat back down. And he said that he was going to be a professional about it because he was there to announce that night, and he was going to go on with the show. And the show did, in fact, go on. Match 4 was Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. Now, in my opinion, this was the showcase match of the night. Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk went back and forth in this match. Lots of attempted pins, lots of specialty moves. Punk went for the GTS, I guess, 3 times in this match. Ziggler reversed it twice. At one point, turned it into a sleeper hold. Punk reversed the sleeper hold into a different kind of sleeper hold. Very, very good match. This match ended up after Punk finally was able to. He attempted the GTS. Ziggler escaped, flipped Punk over into a face breaker. Ziggler attempted a lariat. And Punk was able to counter and finally got Ziggler on his back and got the GTS after the 3rd attempt. And CM Punk was the winner, but this match was a great showcase for what Dolph Ziggler can do. And again, one more reason why I think Dolph Ziggler is going to be doing a lot of business this coming year. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll move on to the next little piece where Big Show came out. He said that he proved that even though he wrestled the strongest man, the world's strongest man, he was still stronger and bigger and better, and that even though he didn't win the belt, because he got cheap shotted by Mark Henry in the nutsack, he was still able to make Mark Henry leave on a cart as opposed to walking away on both feet. And he said once he gets better, he's coming after him again. So we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, there was a little promo. This was the only divas that you saw tonight. Kelly, Alicia Fox, Beth Phoenix, and Natalya did a little promo for WWE 12, which is coming out tomorrow, by the way. So go ahead and line up now. It should be on sale actually in about a couple of hours. Moving on, after that, another good match, Wade Barrett versus Kofi Kingston. This went back and forth pretty good. Right after the match began, Randy Orton actually came down to the ringside area, trying to throw the intimidation factor on Wade Barrett after the loss yesterday to Team Barrett. So this is going to be, again, another rivalry that looks like it's going to be heating up for 2012. And this match went, again, back and forth. Wade Barrett was actually dominating for most of this match. Kofi got a few shots in there. Booker T kept saying that he was looking for Wade Barrett to deliver the coup d'etat, which, Booker, if you're watching, it's coup de grace. It's coup de grace, not coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is like when you take over a country. Anyway, Kofi Kingston was able to get a leg drop on Barrett. Tried the Trouble in Paradise, didn't get it. Barrett was able to get him up on his shoulders and get him with the wasteland, and Wade Barrett was able to walk away with this one. He after the match, he started talking a little bit of smack on the microphone to Randy Orton as Randy Orton was walking away. Randy Orton turned around, lunged at him just a little bit, and Wade Barrett flinched hard, flinched like back into the next county. So intimidation factor apparently is there. We'll see what happens with this rivalry that's heating up here. Now, after that match, we went directly to John Cena, who was talking about basically what happened yesterday at Survivor Series. How The Rock demonstrated that he still got it, and he's gonna be everything that everybody expects him to be come WrestleMania time in April. He goes on and talks about how he got rock bottomed. He says that he looks around and feels the energy. Zack Ryder was able to show up. CM Punk was able to show up, become the new champ. Paid him a little credit, and that he had all the respect for what The Rock was able to do, and that they're gonna put on a great show at WrestleMania. Well, The Miz and R-Truth come out. The Miz points out that that even though Madison Square Garden was sold out, people were chanting, don't tag Cena while The Rock was doing his thing, and basically just sort of put everything into perspective that, everybody came to see The Rock, nobody came to see you, John Cena. Even though he says you can't see me, nobody essentially wanted to see John Cena. And R-Truth dug a little deeper, talking about the C Nation was getting ready to become the See You Later Nation, which, at this point, John Cena sort of struck back, doing what he actually does best, which is talking. He's always been good with the mic. Cena pointed out that nobody cared about Awesome Truth. If The Miz thinks that R-Truth was, let's quote here, a whacked out nut job who never had any talent in the first place, and that R-Truth thinks that The Miz is a pompous, arrogant, attention-seeking D-lister whose biggest accomplishment was being a skinny loudmouth on a crappy reality show. Period, point blank. And this left the two members of Awesome Truth in the ring to fight it out amongst each other. And at first it looks like they're getting ready to break up, turn into a shoving match. Then Miz starts telling R-Truth, don't you get what he's doing? He's playing us against each other. He's playing us against each other. They go to leave. Right when they get up to the backstage area, The Miz delivers a skull-crushing finale to R-Truth, signifying that Awesome Truth appears to be done. And R-Truth is laying there. The Miz walks away, and the refs come to take a look at R-Truth and see if he's okay, and the show cuts off. So looks like they're setting up a whole lot of new angles. R-Truth and The Miz no longer together. Cena actually did get kind of a pop as he was cracking on The Miz and R-Truth, which is what they need to do. Let this guy, let these people get off his back a little bit. Let him do what he does best. He caught a lot of the haters off guard tonight, and that's a good thing. So let him do a little bit more of that, or whatever else it takes to, let him not be. If you're gonna keep him the big face on the company, let him win a few. Come on. That's pretty much all we got right now. Go ahead and check out Unified Wrestling's tag team this Thursday. Caesar Scorpio is going to be there to give you the coverage for TNA Impact. For myself and the absent Caesar Scorpio, thanks for listening and take care.